And welcome back to Code Lab. It's good to have everyone back for our next show. My name is Daniel Rizak of Tynker, and today's going to be a great show. And don't forget, this is the show that helps students and teachers make and create with Tynker Code. We are going to create together, and this week we are going to be making a really fun project that is constructing historical heroes. All right, this is going to be, actually, we're going to do this from scratch. To do this, we are going to welcome our good friend, Mr. David Lockhart. So welcome back to Code Lab.
How are you, sir?
Oh my gosh, I'm so good. It's Friday. It's another day of creating on Tynker Live. I'm happy with that. I'm excited to have some good chatters. I know that our audience is growing every day, so that's always good.
Always a good thing.
Exactly. So maybe you want to tell us a little bit about what we're going to be seeing today. What are we going to be doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I joined Tinker, one of the things that I wanted to do was, can I create a project that was something I used to do in my classes? And so I was a high school social studies teacher. And so one of the things that we used to do is I never really liked teaching the Industrial Revolution, but I came up with this project that's like, if you could have this person do a commercial for their product, so like Thomas Edison doing the light bulb, hint, hint, you can have the kids go and learn quite a bit with it. They can create that commercial. And so what I found is that I had kids who did great stuff on video, like just amazing projects on video, but I also had kids that needed something away from video, something where they could tell their story. And so that's what we're going to do here. We're actually going to create a commercial for the light bulb, using code and using Tinker.
Well, awesome. I am going to actually be doing this with you on my side of things, and then after you go, we'll go ahead and maybe I'll have some insights or something like that. So, are you ready to get started?
I am ready to get started.
All right, let's roll the getting started movie. We're going to show you guys how to start a blank project. So, 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started. Today I'm going to show you how to get to a blank project. So first we're going to get teachers. You go ahead and log in up there at the sign in button. When you log in, you're going to go to your dashboard and you're going to click on My Projects here. And when you get to My Projects page, go ahead and create a new project. Remember, you're going to be able to assign this project to students, so that's going to be really helpful. When you go here, you're going to go to Blank Project right here, and you're going to have the Tinker Workshop ready to start this project today. Now, students, you're going to log in up there. And when you log in, here's your dashboard. You're going to go over here to My Projects. In My Projects, again, we're going to create a new project up there in the top left, and then we're going to create a blank project right over here. It's in the center. And so now you should be all set with the Tinker Workshop to start today's project. So let's create together and have a good time. All right, we are ready. Now, this is just a reminder to join us in the chat, friends. We have a link. You can go to GoTinker/live chat. I know there's a couple folks in there asking questions, and we're going to check that throughout. It is moderated, teachers, so looks like we have some exciting Minecrafters in the chat. So we'll be checking the chat throughout, and we'll be moderating as we go along. And so you can go ahead if you want to go ahead and share your screen and get us started.
Awesome. Can you see my screen?
Oh, I can see your screen. It looks gorgeous. So big. Those blocks are so big. Really good. So.
All right, so the first thing that we did is we opened up a blank project, and so we have Cody in here for this blank project, and we'll just leave Cody for now. Let's move him. We'll kind of move him over here to this top corner just for now. So the first thing that I did is I actually did a little bit of pre-work here, where we're going to use some images that we found online. We're going to use some images to kind of make this happen. And so I kind of have already saved those images to my computer. So I went and I found those images and saved those images to the computer. And the first image that I want to load is I actually don't want to do a commercial in this white void of space. So I actually want to change the background here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to where it says stage. And I'm going to come over here to what I would say. I've heard somebody say this, that looks like it's a gear icon, but looks like a fidget spinner too. We're going to click that little fidget spinner gear icon, and we're going to click add background. Now, one of the things that you have in here is you have all kinds of really great backgrounds that you can use from Tynker, just kind of already preloaded, where you can just click on them. But when you're doing a project that's based on content, sometimes you want a background that's different and you want to upload your own picture. So up here in this top right corner, there's a draw icon, but there's also this upload a file icon. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to click upload an asset. And I'm actually going to go find this asset on my computer, and I know it's here. And I'm going to go and click that little, I've loaded Thomas Edison's lab, a picture of Thomas Edison's lab already. I'm going to load that picture in, give it a second to load up. And we're going to have Thomas Edison's lab is our background. So now we have Thomas Edison's lab in here, and you can have Cody you can even have Cody walk around in here on top of tables and kind of like he's walking in here for if you want. But so the next thing that I kind of looked at here was, okay, can you actually add Thomas Edison? So now you have Thomas Edison's lab, but can I go and add Thomas Edison in here? And there's some great kind of stuff that you can do in here to make that, customize that a little bit. I'm going to come to this add actor button, and you have all kinds of great ways to add actors. You can draw actors, and we'll use the drawing tool here in just a bit, but you have a character builder, a media library. But again, this is a project where we want to upload a custom picture. So I'm going to upload a picture, and I have a picture of Thomas Edison saved. So I'm going to upload that picture of Thomas Edison. So now I have old Tom Edison in my project. But one of the things that I don't like here is that Thomas Edison has a background around him. And so I don't necessarily want that background there. And you can actually edit that directly in the Tynker platform, because all you're going to need to do is come down to this actor and this little pencil. If I click that, it's going to take me right into the drawing editor. Now I'm going to do this quickly, so it's not going to be perfect, but you can definitely adjust this as needed. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to, if I click the eraser, I can start just erasing the background here.
Right.
And I'm going to do it real fast, so it's not going to look as perfect as it should, but we're going to try to do it, because if I do it real perfect, we'll be here all day.
Now, for our chatters, do they know what kind of image that is considered, you know, in the image world of terminology?
Oh, you're going to have to help me with that terminology. What are you considering this terminology, image terminology, as I erase this?
Well, if you do use Google Images to find those kind of images where they're cut out, these are considered transparent images.
Gotcha. Well, we're going to make him transparent, because I couldn't find a good transparent image of him because it's old-timey photographs. So we're going to go and try to make him as transparent as possible, even though I cut out his face a little bit. That's okay for now. So I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to go back in, and now I have Thomas in, and it downside. There he is. Now I have Thomas, and it is not a great way of doing it. But again, you can go in and use that eraser, and you can adjust that point to make it look way better than that.
That's all right.
But we get the picture of it for now. Now, the other thing that I wanted to add in here is I actually want to have like a table for Thomas to come in and like put the light bulb on. So I'm going to go in, and I'm actually just going to draw a table real quick. And all I'm going to do here is, and the last time I've done this, I mean, you may have to help me a little bit here. Is there a shape editor like there used to be?
Ah, there's the stamp. You're looking for shapes.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. I think that's what we needed right there. So yeah, there we go. And so we'll move that around. It was changed since I built this project originally. So we'll just leave it as a red table for now. You can always change the color. And so we're going to go and we're going to give it a leg, and then we'll go and we'll give it a top. And we'll give it another leg. So now we can get him a table. We'll adjust the size. Again, my drawing skills are not on well display here today, but that's fine.
That's okay.
So we've got a table in there. Where did my table actor go? There it is. Now, one of the things that's great in here is to kind of layer this in is
Mm-hmm.
you also, I can go and do that table, have this little stack icon that's down here,
Yep.
and I can go and decide where I want that layering in, just like you would if you were in like PowerPoint or like Keynote. You can kind of layer those pictures in just the same way. And then the other thing that I wanted to do here is I actually want to add one more actor. I
Mm-hmm.
want to add a light bulb, and so that he has a light bulb there for his commercial. And so again, I'm going to go back to that upload actor, and I'm going to go and I have a light bulb image saved. But what I want to do is I actually want to have this light bulb, and you can see it's kind of transparent light right now. I actually want to have it light up at a certain point. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go in and edit this picture again. I'm going to go into the actor icon, and I'm going to add a different costume. I'm going to leave this one there, but I'm going to add a different costume. And then what I'm going to do, actually, I didn't want to do that. I want to duplicate. So I'm going to come up to this button in the top right corner. I'm going to duplicate it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I want to do is I actually want to fill this with yellow. So like you can go and you can change
like
costume like the light bulb is turning on. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to fill that with yellow, and then I'm going to save that and come back here. So now I've got all my actors in. We'll leave Cody in the corner for now. I've got all my actors in. So now the key is, what can I do here? What can I go and like build in here and do and show? And so real simply, and I know you'll have some better customizations, but one of the things I wanted to do was make Thomas talk. And so one of the ways that you could make him talk is just go on start, and then you come down to looks. And if you go into looks, there's actually some great say blocks in here where you can have speech bubbles, and you can actually do timed say blocks as well. So I can do timed blocks, and I think they did it as a think, but that's fine for now. It'll come up as the same as a speech bubble, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually use the think bubble right here. But what I could do is basically have it as a speech bubble, just like it's in a comic, and I could say, "Oh, you want to light up your life." And so now that this is timed, what I can actually do is really simply, I can come in here and actually have this. It's going to do that for 2 seconds, and then it'll flip over to the next speech bubble. So I could go and say, "Try the light bulb." My banter as far as Thomas goes is not super great today, but that's fine.
That's fine.
Try the light bulb. It's great. And so now Thomas is in here, and actually we need to move that speech bubble a little bit. That speech bubble is not where I want it. Oh, because I put it on the light bulb.
Oh, I was wondering about that. I was like, oh, so the light bulb's going to talk.
I put it on the light bulb. You should have caught me there. So all you have to do to get this code over to Thomas is actually come over here, and you can just drag it on top of Thomas. And that's actually a good point. And then I can just delete this. I always do that. I never get the whole set of blocks, but I can just delete the blocks. Now let's see if it'll actually look better. There we go. That's much better. So now Thomas is talking. So now what I want to do is I want to do some work on the light bulb. And so one of the things that I can do on the light bulb is that I can have the light bulb. So now we're going to come back to the light bulb, and I'm going to come up to events, and I'm going to add an onstart here. So when I do it on onstart, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have this. What I want to do is I want to have the light bulb appear, and then I want to have it basically then light up after Thomas says something. So what I can do is I can sit here on start, and I'm going to do a hide block first.
All right.
On start hide block. So now it's hiding when I start the project. You shouldn't see the light bulb at all. So when you go, you don't see the light bulb at all. But then I want to time it a little bit to go with his speech. So I'm actually going to use a wait block here. And I'm going to have it, and we may have to mess with the timing a little bit, but I'm going to go 2, because remember, everything he says is separated by 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go that wait block there, and then I'm going to go a show block. And so now what should happen, if the timing is right, let's press play, is that on the second thing he says, the light bulb pops up. And so then what I'm going to have it do is I'm going to have it do another wait 2 seconds. because I'm going to have it turn on when he says his last thing. So I'm going to have another wait 2 seconds. And then I'm going to come in here and have next costume. So that's going to change it to that costume that we created at the start, where it's going to go and light up the light bulb. So, okay, come here. You want the light bulb to light up the life. It goes and it pops up and it lights up on this last thing. So that's kind of the base of the project. The reason I really like this too is I think there's 100 other ways you could customize this, and really you could add characters, you could add people, and you can add a whole bunch. So I think it's kind of, you probably have some really great ways for that. So I'm going to pass it off to you.
Yeah, sure. I've been following along, and I think I have some fun little updates that I can do here. So, okay, you can go ahead and stop sharing your screen, and we can take a look at my screen. Hopefully that's big enough for everyone to see. So I was following along, and one of the things I was doing was I was using all Tynker media. So one of the things I found like somebody that kind of looked like a professor. If I wasn't able to find anything, that was usable, or go fishing on the internet for pictures. So I did find an actor that kind of looked like a professor. In this case, maybe he could be my Thomas Edison for this particular piece. But another thing I did find is we actually do have a light bulb in the media library. So if I go to media library, I can search light bulb and I can add that here. I'll add another one just so I can show you what I did. Because I can do a very similar thing to what you did as well. And if I want to have my light bulb do some sort of animation or change colors or something like that, I can go ahead and click on the gear icon. And here, what I can do is duplicate the costume. So this is maybe a different way that you did it and you were inside the editor. You can do it that way too. One of the ways I like to just create animation is just to like duplicate costumes and stuff like that. So here I can edit the second costume, and what I can do here is I can use the fill tool and I can just click white, and if I click anything that's right there, it's a white bulb. So now I've got two different colors that I can use here, and I can time these to go on however I like. I can use a wait block if I want. You were doing things by time, so I have things here. Or one of the things, and let me just I lost my actor code where you had this. He was saying something. He waited 2 minutes. And in my case, I was thinking of a light bulb joke to say. But what I could do is I could use a broadcast block. Mm-hmm. And let's see. So at the end of his second, thing, he can broadcast turn on. And here, what I can do is go back to my light bulb, or one of them, and I can use the when I receive block to do something. So this is what's nice is when you use these blocks, they kind of are connected. So if I click into that white space now, it'll say turn on. When I receive turn on, I may tell my actor to change colors, and to do that I have to tell it actually to go to a different costume, because there's two costumes, right? There's white, there's one that's a different color. So I can just go to switch to costume. I can do that and click here, and then I can go light bulb bright, right? So that's gonna be the one that's yellow. The one now, there's one other little piece. Do you know what it is? Because if I do this now, it may not work. I'll hit play just to see. He says, how many blank does it turn on the light bulb? And that worked. Great. I have a problem. There's going to be a problem right here when I hit stop. No, it worked. I thought, and this is what I just thought, and I try to make sure I go through everything just to make sure. But right. On start, I wanted to just make sure that it goes to the right costume. So one of the things I was going to put here was on start. make sure it's on the white costume. So switch to costume here. And then again, I'm just doubling, my tracks basically to make sure that the code works exactly the way I want it. And so I'll hit play. On start, it starts with white. He does his thing, and then it switches colors. And there's Cody still walking around. I don't know what Cody's doing.
We just kept Cody because we like Cody, so we kept him around in the project, even though he could probably be somewhere else. But you could customize him a bit where he can actually talk to the professor at some point if you wanted to.
Absolutely. I also used media. If you do the media library, you can find some good lab stuff. And there's 2 lab scenes, which there's actually one with a table. So, but I like, you go creative, make your own. That's the way we like to do it here. But I was actually thinking that this could be a fun joke project, and that, he comes in and, there's a lot of light bulb jokes, right? So I asked the chat, they didn't seem to have any light bulb jokes.
No light bulb jokes today.
I don't
have any good clean light bulb jokes, so I don't know that I can tell any of those.
Like why'd the chicken cross the road, that type of thing. There's how many people does it take to screw in a light bulb? So and that would have been my answer right there. So and I used I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, right? So that's the think bubble, but you could use like you said, use a say block. I think here, and the say block gives you a lot more options, right? There's change the fonts, use the bottom message box. You could use it as a bubble. You could, change your fonts. It can be really big. It could be really, whatever. There's a lot of different options there.
Absolutely. I think that say block, the one that you're showing that you can use, you could change it all kinds of ways and customize this all kinds of ways. I think what was really cool about it to me is I can do projects that I used to do in my high school class in Tynker, which I thought was amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to see how big that is. That's so funny because you still have to really make that font big in order for it to really be seen.
Yeah,
I should try to make sure to go to big screen on that.
And then if you make it too big, it takes up lots of space.
True.
Especially if you have a speech bubble.
There we go. All right. So that is, unless do you have any other, customizations you want to jump in?
No, I think we've touched on a lot of them. And I think the whole key here was that you could customize this a lot of ways. There's a lot here you can do, and you could actually do this as a way to create in your class. And I think the whole key, the reason I wanted to do this project too, is that you look at it from a standpoint of storytelling. Storytelling is something you can do in any class. And so it's not super hard. When you kind of know your way around in here, it's not super hard to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's actually, if you do go to the student dashboard and you want to create a new project, there's a whole folder of storytelling projects, right? There's animation, music, AR, physics, platformers. Yep. There's a whole bunch of things that you can choose from, and advanced templates. There's just so much. So definitely check those out if you haven't, played with those kids. So, okay, what does that bring us? That brings us to, if you have any final questions about this project, I can definitely point some things out to you. It doesn't look like we have any questions in the Q&A, but our next show is Monday. So, or no, I said that wrong. It is Tuesday.
Monday
right?
is Memorial Day.
Right.
If you're doing it Monday, you're doing a show.
Yes, on Tuesday, I'll be with you again as the guest. We'll be doing an amazing project. So join us on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And we're going to do an amazing project. Again, I'm probably going to choose one of the Hour of Code projects, but we'll publish that a little bit later today. But that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all for joining us for Code Lab. Again, you can use Tynker anywhere, anytime to create and make together. So take care and have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.